Hello, everyone. We are playing Grand Guignol today. Grand Guignol is, well, actually, I guess I should say what we are, right? Welcome to Gays of Our Lives. We are a group of therapists, educators, and spiritual leaders playing queer tabletop RPGs in order to embrace our identities, build community, and share the magic of playing queer games with queer folk. We stream every other Sunday, starting around this time for about 3 hours. Tonight, we are playing our first episode of Grand Guignol. Grand Guignol. Sorry, there's a party happening next door, and now the dogs are barking, so it's mildly distracting. Just an exciting day today. Grand Guignol gives us crooked alleys and foggy canals, charged touches, and words left unsaid, extravagant masquerades and faceless crowds, bloody hands and dangerous smiles, and always the darkness without and within whispering, "What are you going to do now?" In Grand Guignol, you play a citizen of London in all its sprawling Victorian glory. Crowds pour in from the countryside as the Industrial Revolution chews through their livelihoods, while in the factories, society and nature, and time itself, are brought under control. Predators party with the powerful and prey upon the poor, while whispers echo in the witching hour and unseen eyes watch from the shadows. Amongst it all, we queers and monsters and outsiders try to slay our demons and live our lives. We flirt and bicker, investigate and unwind, tremble and embrace, and hurt and heal one another in turn. And if we're lucky, somewhere between the misty lanes and society's demands, we may learn who we are truly. So Grand Guignol is a spooky little game for October. I think it's fitting. So that's what we'll be playing today. And do we want to do announcements, guys? People, humans?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have here? Let's see what I wrote down. We are still supporting the 2 Kickstarters that we did special episodes for last week. We've got Chew, which is a fun game from Pete Petruccia using the Forged in the Dark system. It's a ton of fun. You can watch that stream now on YouTube at this point. But underneath our stream in the About section, you can find a link to the Kickstarter. And then the other special one was Our Haunt by Jammy. And that one you can also find in our About section. That was fun. They played ghosts, and I think they had a lot of fun with that. You can also watch that on YouTube as well. We don't have any streams next Friday because we are off. And then, we'll have an upcoming special Gays of Our Lives stream in November 6th. We'll be streaming with the designer from Ninth Level. We'll be playing Women Are Werewolves. We're all very excited about that. So keep that in mind. But I think that's it. Grand Guignol is developed by Wildwood Games. Luke over there created it, and it's currently on itch. You should be able to find a link in our description section, and then and we can drop a link as well. Keep an eye out at Wildwood's Twitter and Possum Creek's Twitter, because second edition of Grand Guignol will be launching in the beginning of the year. Possum Creek Games is going to be publishing it, I think, in a similar fashion that they did with Our Haunt. So it's very exciting. And, maybe in a game or two, we might actually get access to see what that second edition looks like. But we'll see. But for now, we're going to play with the version that you can get on itch. So, yeah. All right. let's uh let's introduce ourselves. Who would like to introduce? Let's just do who you are as a human, and then we'll kind of go do character introductions as we get into it. Since it's the first, where it's our first episode, so we're doing all that character stuff and relationship building this episode. So, who wants to start?
Start. Um, my name is Hallie Palmer. I'm a licensed independent clinical social worker working in Massachusetts. And I work with kids that have experienced trauma, and my pronouns are she, her.
I'm Tennille. I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor in California. And I run my own business called Journey. We'll have the website there in the chat for you, journeygrouptherapy.com. And my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, my name is Jessie. I'm a licensed professional counselor in a private practice in Chicago, Illinois, and I work with a wide range of individuals, kids to adults, and my pronouns are she, they.
That leaves me. My name is Kayla. I'm an assistive technology specialist working with technology and access and how technology, both low tech and high tech, can provide people with disabilities access to things that they might not normally have access to. I'm also a trained therapist, but not currently practicing. And I think that's all of us who are playing today for this go around. So we do character introductions and then kind of let's. Has everyone picked out all their stuff?
I have.
Yes.
Think I did.
Cool. Well, that's
But
okay.
we might be
'Cause
surprised.
I think I have one where I haven't fully picked it out yet, so no problem. Let's do let's introduce our characters and just describe everything up to the relationship questions, and then we'll do the relationship questions kind of as a group. Who wants to start?
I can go first again because we know I love to go first.
It just makes sense.
I know. So I am playing Persephone Mara. She is using the Gate playbook, and I have a name for telling only sorrow, and piercing eyes, blue eyes, with a faint melancholy face. And I'm often wearing funereal clothes or more formal clothing. And other people see me as forbidden and mysterious, and I see myself as lonely and fragile. And my gift, so the gate has mystical powers that are often feared or used by others. And so the gate is a haunted individual afraid of their own potential. Their powers and struggles are unnerving and internal and inviting. And my gift first awoke when I got drunk and I kissed a girl. And I am haunted by my gift because I often hear phantom whispers right behind my back, and I can never see who's speaking.
Who wants to go next?
Yes, I can go. Is it all right if I kind of introduce this my playbook?
Yeah.
I'm doing the scholar. You don't know why no one else sees what you see. Your fellow scholars pursue knowledge for its own sake, gazing up at distant stars, obsessing over the last Amazonian ferns, droning on about century old wars, all pointless save to feed their bloated egos and chase the thrill of discovery. There is only one worthy goal for a scholar, the mystery that you chase. It is elusive, vital, and beautiful, and compared to it, all else is insignificant. And it is your purpose to solve it at last. The scholar is a driven individual on a quest for answers. Their powers and struggles are studied, ontological, and unprecedented. And I am playing Cavi. And Cavi pronouns are they, them. Cavi is, let's see, Cavi has a look of captivating passion. They wear a inherited suit, and they have trimmed nails and soft hands. They are two ways that others see me is they see me as driven and studied, and two ways that I see myself are actually, like, am I in the wrong place? Like, getting confused. The two ways that others see me are brilliant and pretentious, and I see myself as analytical and romantic. And my wardrobe includes countless pens, an inherited suit, and smudged spectacles.
Smudged spectacles.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Should I go on to the next, or I guess we can go a bit later.
Do you want to answer what mystery are you chasing? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. So the mystery that I'm chasing is learning the true nature of the soul. Two commonly held truths that I doubt are your desires are wrong and that evil is inherited. And a truth that I reject is that there are only two genders. Ooh. And that is the scholar. Okay.
Cool. What mystery are you chasing?
Learning the true nature of the soul.
Very cool. I will go. I can go. I am playing Ezra, the Beast. They go by she, they pronouns. Their look. So the Beast, I'll read the Beast. You're not like the rest of them. These nice people with their normal feelings. You never have been. There is something growling deep in your soul. A monster, caged and terrible and full of strange desires. You've kept it trapped for many years, deadening its howls with pleasure and distraction, and locking its unspeakable appetites deep down where no one else can see. But you can feel your grip slipping. Any day now, you'll lose control and set it free. So Ezra's look is Ezra has wiry hands, a crooked grin, and an infectious laugh. Their wardrobe style, they wear a battered old watch, a cotton waistcoat, and a threadbare jacket. Choose two ways others see you. Others see me as a man and charming. And then choose 2 ways you see yourself. I see myself as courageous and dissolute. What happened the first time you lost control? The first time I lost control, I confessed a love that should have stayed unspoken. Who are you running from? I am running from Scotland Yard. And then I have a bestial mark, and that is I have moon gold eyes, and that's Ezra.
So I will go last. So my character is Bako. Their pronouns are Zer, Zim, and I'll be playing the Hunter playbook. So the Hunter, it's you were happy once upon a time. You had people who you adored, friends to laugh with at the drinking house and the theater, a job to fill your pockets, a roof to cover your head, countless little pleasures to brighten your days. You had a life. You were happy once. Now, all you have is a mission that you pursue with the brutal simplicity of purpose. Find those who took it all from you, hear them admit their crimes, and deliver the bloody judgment that society never will. The hunter is a wounded individual pursuing a vendetta. Their powers and struggles are brutal, ethical, and personal. So, Bako's look is an inscrutable stare, a tight smile, an empty face. For the wardrobe styles, I picked hobnail boots, taped knuckles, and a moleskin vest. 2 ways others see Bako are heartless and vicious. And 2 ways Bako sees himself is unstable and lost. 3 things that Bako's lost are society's good opinion, Bako's belief in the world is just, and a life without fear. And one thing that I've kept is the roof over my head. And then should I mention the 3 monsters?
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 monsters that I blame for my losses are some creature in the shadows, the ruling aristocracy, and myself.
Could you repeat the choose 3 you've lost?
Yes, the 3 I've lost. So I lost society's good opinion, my belief the world is just, and a life without fear.
And then what are you wearing?
Hobnail boots, taped knuckles, and moleskin vest.
Cool. Do we want to how do we want to ask the questions?
Could popcorn? Like someone could start and
Yeah. That works for me.
and I don't want to go first this time.
I mean, that's fine.
I keep
Oh,
doing
are you
that.
sure?
Because I don't want to go first every time.
I mean, I can go first. That's fine.
Okay.
So, what? This question is for Persephone. What need do you have for my violence?
Ooh, what need do I have?
Uh,
That's such a crazy question. I love it.
I know. It's like damn.
That is like such a okay. I think I need I think that on the outside it might look like I just kind of need maybe physical protection, but really like because I see my character as kind of being maybe looking a little frail sometimes. But I think my character really likes knowing that, there's someone else that can cause as much damage as she can. It I don't know. So like really it's kind of like I think the need that's being filled from your violence. Is that what you said? The violence?
Yeah, what need do you have for my violence?
I think I kind of need to know, okay, like I'm not the only one that has like some pretty intense powers. So,
Okay. Okay. Great. The not alone. Okay. All right.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. I think the next one I'm going to ask um Baco, when did you see me lose control?
Mm. I think a time I would have seen you lose control would have been in the middle of a night in the woods, not yet a full moon, where everything that you were trying to do just got too much.
Mm-hmm.
And in hiding, being tracked by the Scotland Yard, you hurt someone in a way you weren't intending to.
Okay. And then like how did you see um how did you see how did you see me? Like how did you like were we together or were you like watching me?
Yeah, I think I was watching, like going past,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure if you noticed that I was there, but I was definitely watching and ready to keep whatever secrets I needed to.
Okay. Okay. Me for my question.
And I can go next for my questions. So the first question I will ask Kavi, what had you heard of me before we met?
What had I heard of you before we met? Um, hmm. I'm thinking it should have something to do with like your loss of a society's good opinion. Um, I'm gonna say that I learned this rumor that you publicly embarrassed yourself during an academic presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like the rumor is that you said one thing when you were meaning another thing, and it made you look incredibly foolish. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't have to be true.
What was the presentation on? Or what was it what was it you heard the presentation was on?
Or was Baco giving the presentation and made a mistake?
Yeah, that's what was Baco
Okay.
giving the presentation, or was Baco in the audience for a presentation, and what happened?
My idea was that Baco was actually giving the presentation.
Okay. Yeah,
Does Baco give presentations?
maybe.
I think Baco did once.
Okay.
Not so much anymore.
So what would Baco have presented on?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Cult studies.
Yeah, I think, yeah, just occult studies, looking deeper into the structure of everything. And there's something that just doesn't quite add up.
Okay. All right.
And then my second question for Persephone will be, who have I hurt for you?
Good.
Did you ask me to?
I think like Persephone is changing. I think that she really I love this. Who have you heard from me? So my gift first awoke when I was drunk and kissed a girl. I'm gonna say that you hurt someone that saw that in that. So that happened. The girl was fine with this. But someone else saw it and they were none too pleased and they tried to attack me. And I'm even wondering if maybe that's how we met.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good way to meet. And the second part of that question is, did you ask me to hurt this person?
No, not consciously. I think maybe I asked you in another way. Maybe because my gift awoke and maybe you heard it. But I wouldn't say like I made you do it. I think that maybe you heard something or felt it. I don't know. Maybe we find out more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to find out.
Feel like this is setting up some scenes.
I agree.
I could go next because you had your two. So, Kavi, wait, who's had questions asked of them? Has everyone had a question?
I've only had one.
I have not had a question asked. I have asked questions.
Okay. First, Kavi, why do I make you uneasy?
I am uneasy around you because I get a sense that there's some kind of like something wrong with your soul. And it makes me uneasy because I haven't figured out everything.
Big old question mark right over my head.
Yes.
Next to that quest marker.
Yes, which is right in league with my goals, my thrive in life.
And you said you hadn't figured me out. And Ezra.
Yes.
What secret are you keeping from me?
Oh. Such an interesting question.
These questions are so good.
Yeah. Where do you I mean, how do you want to play this? Because I mean I'm not gonna play to find out. That's right. Because I have a thought. We could go in that direction if you'd like, or we can think of something else.
I don't know what direction you're thinking of.
So, like a pattern. I do this. Characters do this all the time. First it's Lexa, and now it's Ezra. So the secret could be that Ezra's in love with Persephone. That's an option.
Oh no. Yeah, Jessie said that her internet was acting up earlier.
Oh, okay. Hold 1 second while I fix. We will fix our cameras. Special one. We're just gonna deal with that for a second. Enjoy, everyone.
Deal with it like
As
that, or
no, I have to move everyone around.
Okay.
Or we can go to a break if you'd like. I don't have a normal panel for this. I didn't plan one.
And on that note, we start our Gaze of Our Lives questions.
Yeah, maybe we should go to break.
Yeah, we can do a quick break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They must have lost their internet again. Do you want me to fix the window or wait for Jessie to come back?
Break. Where were we? It really is. We're gonna get into the groove. It's all gonna be fine.
Yes.
We're gonna do our best.
That's all we can do.
Just making
Game
it
is
work.
haunted. Yeah, it is.
Game is haunted. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
I think you said the secret could be that Ezra's in love with Persephone. We could do that.
Okay.
If you're feeling like your character would do that, or do you have any other thoughts? Because like since it's a secret for my character, it won't affect her too much.
So that was Ezra's first thought. That was my first thought, but that's where I tend to. I mean, I did that with. That's where Lexa is right now. I do that with my characters.
I mean, maybe you have a type character to play.
You know, that's probably true, actually. So that was one thought for that answer.
Let's go with it. Sure.
Okay.
What was the question again?
What secret are you keeping from me? Oh, the question was actually, I messed it up. I read it wrong. I did. It's what secret are you keeping for me?
You did mess it up. I don't know. What secret am I keeping for you?
I don't know. Do we want to go with that first?
You don't want anyone to know that Ezra likes Persephone.
That to yourself.
To yourself. Thanks for telling me that secret. Don't tell anybody.
Apparently, Hallie, you just skipped right over. That changes the question completely. It's on you to figure it out. What is it? What is the secret?
No, I was supposed to ask one to the left and one to the right. So
I
you need to
know.
tell me what secret you're keeping for me.
Yeah, but I don't. What would be what would be a secret that Persephone would have?
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna. I'm gonna
Maybe it has something to do with your gift.
probably Monocamus says to go with it as it was, but I don't want to get rid of that whole laugh sequence for no reason. What would it so the gate like kissed
I
a
mean,
girl and
I
she
guess we could. I mean, we can keep it that way and still clip it. That's fine. It doesn't have
I
to
mean
be.
that can be up to Ezra. That can be up to Ezra. But I'll say so she kissed a girl and she liked it. She
As
wasn't
I
one
keep
too
does.
hearing that song
As
in my
one
head.
does. Yeah.
now it's in your heads now.
Right. As one does.
I would say maybe the secret that you're keeping for me is that I couldn't come out to my family, so I left.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so I left my family, and I'm still trying to keep up appearances, try to look pretty decent, da da da. But like I'm 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 struggling quite a bit, which I think that would fit with the gate quite well. And if Ezra's also in love with her, that's okay too.
Yeah, I mean that can also exist.
The gate needs as many people on her side as possible.
So I'm keeping what you left your family, and the secret is what?
That instead of coming out to my family,
Oh, you just ran away.
yeah, basically ran away from home.
So I'm keeping Persephone a secret.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, if you ran away from home and you don't want anyone to know you ran away from home, is that, or you don't want
Or
anyone?
I don't even want like my friends, and I don't want them to know where I came from, like who my
Okay.
family is. Like I've just kind of left that life behind, and I'm just trying to make it on my own as who I am.
Okay.
Sorry for the viewers at home.
No, that was hilarious. That was great. I mean,
It's good. It's good. These awkward
you can
moments
like
are
me,
fantastic.
but do not tell anyone else.
Thanks for thanks for letting me know that you like me.
Jesus, that was amazing.
Keep that on the DL.
That on the DL. Yes.
Oh yes. Okay.
All right. So my turn.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go ahead and ask Ezra.
Yes.
What need do you have for my knowledge?
So let's go with Ezra is looking for a way to control their beast better, instead of just drinking all the time and causing a ruckus. Because that's what I had to look it up, but that's what dissolute means.
Ah,
so, yeah, it's like basically like engages like all these vices. Yeah, so Ezra basically like numbs themselves out to in an attempt to not have to like deal with changing. Yeah, so maybe Ezra has frequently talked with you and your place. Is it like a library or wherever you are at? With yeah, just trying to figure out ways to make this not as painful and violent, and who knows, maybe just not a thing. So
right, yes, I love it. Okay. Yeah, Cavi has I would say like a townhouse.
Okay.
That's not super high class, but definitely not low class. And Cavi has like a library and also their own lab where they work on things and experiment, uh, figuring out more things about the soul.
Okay.
And that would definitely be something that Cavi would be interested in because
Okay.
if Cavi can find out like ways to um, adjust your soul so that you can have more um, control over your beastly urges, that would definitely help Cavi in like learning more about how that all works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right.
Cool.
And my next question. I will give this one to Persephone. Which
She's
of
like,
my theories do you want to be true?
and what was it that your character is studying again?
So I am studying the soul, learning the true nature of the soul.
And then it was
Truths that I doubt are that your desires are wrong and evil is inherited. And a truth that I reject as there are only two genders.
and so the question is like, which of your theories am I interested in, basically?
Which of my theories do you want to be true?
Oh, that evil is not inherited.
Okay.
Because I think that's why I don't want my family knowing where I am or what family I come from, because probably not too good.
Mm.
And these powers probably make me doubt whether I'm a good person. Yeah.
Do you think you would have um, read like maybe a publication that I've written, or maybe come to one of my seminars?
I probably saw like a flyer for one of your seminars or lectures, and I snuck in.
Okay.
It's like they're onto something. I hope. Otherwise, I'm out of luck.
Yes. Would you have tried to come speak to me afterwards, or you would have just tried to sneak out?
I probably wouldn't speak to you afterwards. I'd probably like follow you a little bit. Maybe.
Okay, stalker much?
More like not like just a little curious. I'm like, who's this person and the things that they're saying? And I want to like I would need to make sure that you're a safe person before I would ever talk to you. And so I might use my powers a little bit and just to kind of glean some information, or if you throw something away, maybe I grab it, playing detective but very badly. I imagine that Baco probably made fun of me for this.
I imagine Bako's quite good at stalking their prey.
Yes. Could have just been like, you could have just told me.
Like you stay in the shadows, not under the light, in the shadows.
But I look creepiest underneath glaring light, and that's a real good way to keep people away.
What is your gift exactly?
It's a great question. Have
you decided that?
I wasn't certain if I get to choose my gift, like what it is. It's kind of like the moves are like you can look into someone's heart, sense something unseen. Like if I can manipulate it a bit, like I think that whatever it is, it probably scares most people.
Yeah, it would help us if we.
I'll get a little. I'll come up with some more information on that. There were no questions about what the gift is.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I didn't read out my book, but you had a normal life once before it woke inside you, sprouting like a midnight weed. Now it coils within your heart and lurks in your shadows and whispers terrible truths to you in the dead of the night.
But you're gay.
So it tells me I'm gay. And
it's the gift of gayness.
That's what it sounds
the gift of
like. I mean,
gay.
come on.
But I'm not quite at the part where it's like all great. Well, it's not that would happen, but I would say that like there's a lot of guilt, a lot of shame that I feel. I feel other
Thank you.
people's guilt.
Laura agrees. So gay.
So gay. Yeah, this is a gay game.
It's a gay playbook.
Yeah, it is. So I can sense other people's thoughts. I think I can probably sense their fears, and I can probably manipulate them when I need to protect myself. And I probably have really good gaydar.
Okay. So yeah, if we're okay, so sense people's thoughts and fears.
Yeah, like the moves are like look into someone's heart and see them truly.
Okay.
Sense something unseen or obscured. Refuse to accept someone's judgment or cruelty. So it's pretty yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer your questions?
Yeah, that helps me. Yeah, when you try to listen into Cavi's thoughts, you're definitely going to hear a lot of academic questions and a lot of academic thoughts.
Man, she thinks a lot. Or
yeah,
they think a lot. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, they think a lot. There's like a running thought list of
maybe that's why I don't talk to you, because I'm like, if this is what I'm getting just from here, like, oh gosh.
Yep. They are definitely a scholar for sure. All right. Okay. I believe that's all the questions. Shouldn't we read out our lures?
Yes, I actually need Hallie to repeat their stuff so that I can write it down because I was distracted.
I was typing it if you want me to finish typing
it. No, you don't have to type it. You can just that's a lot of work. Don't worry about typing it.
Okay. So Persephone Mara, a name foretelling only sorrow, with piercing blue eyes and a faint melancholy face. Funereal clothes. And 2 ways that others see me is mysterious and forbidden. And I see myself as lonely and fragile.
And then how does your gift haunt you?
Phantom whispers behind my back.
Damn. That's intense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can read our lures.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, I do, Laura.
My lure for the Scholar Playbook: when someone comes to you for answers or is guided by your beliefs, they gain a token.
I can go next. Oh, I forgot to mention mine is a name with a tragic history, but my lure is when someone helps you to pursue justice or offers you healing or solace, they gain a token.
Okay.
I love lures. Mine is when someone puts their trust in your gift or promises to stay with you, they gain a token.
Oh, wow.
That's like that. That's cool.
I've been picking some pretty heavy playbooks lately. Sorry,
okay.
guys.
We all gotta work through shit. Okay, so the beast is a conflicted individual fleeing from pursuit. Their powers and struggles are violent, transformative, and relentless. The beast's lure is when someone accepts you for who you truly are or asks you for protection, they gain a token.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I bet Max would love Ezra.
I think Max just likes whoever Kayla plays. So see. Can I how old is everyone?
I think that my character is probably early 20s because just the time period that's around when you should get married.
Yeah.
So we'll say like 20. Let's just go with that.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I think Bako's like early to mid 20s.
Okay. Ezra is like 25.
And I imagine Kavi to be, let's go 28.
We have a young cast.
Well, I was
Mhm.
gonna go with 29, but I have committed to things now, and so 25 works just fine.
Okay. We're
All right.
reliving.
Kavi is 28.
Mhm.
That seems to make sense. Like,
Yeah, I got to think about like
yeah.
education and
Yeah, that makes sense.
right.
All right. Cool. So, how are we feeling about making our London?
I'm feeling great about it.
Make it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So I was thinking that we could pick 5 for each just because we have a small, there's only 4 of us. So we can pick. I don't know. I like the aesthetics. Having, I like having options. So,
Hmm.
does anything stand out to anyone?
Um, Aesthetics. It's taverns and theaters and empty streets are the two that stand out to me.
Okay. I like taverns and theaters for sure. Um,
I
Just
like thick
in
mist.
okay.
where do I
Okay.
find this information? I'm sorry.
At
Oh,
the
if you go
top.
to the
It should be
yeah.
the top page of the sheet that had your character sheet on it.
Okay, I looked in the other
Play kit.
thing. Yep.
Yeah, the
Okay.
play kit.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for
Yep.
bearing with me.
It's okay. It's a Sunday and it's a new game and it's been a long week.
It has been such a long. So what did you guys say already?
Okay, so we've got thick mist, taverns and theaters, empty streets. I would like um gentlemen's clubs because I want to get into fights.
Okay. Um. Ooh, these are so good.
I also kind of like looming factories. Something to play into Baco's dislike of the economy.
Maybe like either I also like the sound of industrial looms or
Mm.
there's so many good things like damp and rot,
We
poor
could do
sanitation. I mean,
there's
that's gonna
also
be there
gentrification.
anyways.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Um, what do you
How,
think, Jesse? What what aesthetic best would fit that?
I think the sound of industrial looms.
and we're
That's 5. 1, 2.
I think I need to pick one. Um, I just need a place for where I can like hide out away from my family. So
Dens of Vice.
I was thinking about that, but that feels like really like
Actually,
really
I think I'm. No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
We can. Do you want to change gentlemen's clubs to dens of vice?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Yeah,
I mean, aren't they almost the same thing?
pretty much. Dens of Vice sounds better though.
Yeah. I think I want.
There's terrace houses.
I think I want some secret lanes.
Ooh.
Okay. We
Yeah.
have. So our London has thick mist, the sounds of industrial looms, secret lanes, taverns and theaters, and dens of vice. Cool.
So we're getting rid of empty streets then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think that kind of fits. What are 5 things that folks are worried about?
Mm.
The Thames is flooding the slums.
Oh.
I feel that seems intense.
This is gonna be intense.
Like, I like the rents just won't stop rising.
Yeah, I think well, and which is interesting because Baco is always able to keep a roof over their head. How do you say it?
Zerhead.
Zerhead. I like that.
Okay.
So I'm
Bloodless bodies.
Yeah.
Keep turning up in the sewers, you guys.
Hold on. Is that the one you want? Because I'm torn between the Thames won't stop flooding or there's a sequence killer on the loose.
I think that there should be a sequence killer and the bloodless bodies.
Completely unrelated, of course.
Okay.
Why not? I mean,
so we've got Jack the Ripper. We're living in Jack the Ripper's era
with vampires. There you go.
I think I'm playing a werewolf this time, Lara. It's not entirely clear what kind of beast Ezra is. I just want to put that out there.
How about a werepire or a vamp wolf? Sorry guys.
Oh god, this is
This is how I make it through.
Okay, so rents just won't stop rising. A sequence killer on the loose. Maybe the sequence killer.
Can we just say serial killer?
That's what it is. Yes. I think they were going for like language.
Scotland Yard was not that great then. Like they were not connecting the dots unless like there was like, literally a signature.
So and then bloodless bodies. Are those 2 things connected or no?
I don't think that. I think we have to play to find out.
All right, I'm fine with that. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, we Tennille, you got one?
Everyone sharing dreams of the city in ruins.
Ooh.
Like premonition. This is going places. This is such a departure from Punk Pride Pixie.
It is very different.
We are leaning in.
Okay.
And at least for Persephone, there are voices on the wind, but no one else hears them, so don't worry about that.
Okay, everyone's sharing dreams of the city in ruins. Okay. And then do we want to do one more? Or are we good with 4?
I think we can stick with 4.
I feel like we have a lot to work with.
Yes.
And like any of these things could just end up in it anyways.
Yeah.
Like some of these things are like natural progressions, like a riot. Like, wow.
Though I do really like the idea of the Thames flooding the slums.
We could, I mean, we could get rid of bloodless bodies and add the Thames. Because I mean, we don't know what the serial killer is doing.
I mean, we could make the serial killer. That could be what the serial killer is doing or not doing. Maybe there's just lots of.
How about there's rumors of bloodless bodies?
I like it. Okay.
And then we take the
And the
Thames.
Thames is. Now I kind of want to draw this. There's
Do it.
space there. Maybe I will sketch it and share it with you all.
That'd be
Anyways,
awesome.
carrying on.
So we are adding the Thames
Yeah.
then?
So we've got rents just won't stop rising, a sequence killer on the loose. The Thames is flooding the slums. Everyone's sharing dreams of the city in ruins, which could play into like the fact that there's flooding, like massive flooding. So
Yeah.
wow, we're going places. Before we hand out settings, do we want to talk about lines and veils? We haven't done that yet. We jumped
do
right
that.
in.
We're all scattered today.
Yeah.
Mm.
We should do lines and veils.
Safety
Yes.
duels.
Yes.
We should we can use ones we've used before.
Yeah, I mean,
Add to it.
Well, so the question becomes, a lot of the times when we play together, we either hardline, we either like line homophobia and all of those things, or they're like,
Or we veil them.
or we veil them. However, this game we can choose to like lean into that. So I don't know, but I also think that maybe we need to have like, we might need to have a boundary around that anyway, because I don't want it to go too far and then it's like, oh shit, that was too much, right? But
Makes sense.
But the reason I chose this was because of the way that Luke created the game to kind of intentionally interrogate those character tropes from the gothic horror genre. So yeah, thoughts. Do we want to like veil it to a degree? I don't. Lining it takes it out of the game completely.
I would like to be able to explore homophobia and probably transphobia as well.
Mm.
But I think maybe the line could be that if there's like we don't have to act out
Like, okay.
like scenes necessarily.
Okay.
We could
Yeah.
talk. Because like especially, yeah, all of our characters have some sort of thing that it's probably going to come up.
Right.
So we can maybe describe how the thoughts and feelings that the character that experienced it might have had, but we don't have to go into like blow by blow, like.
So you want to veil it?
Yeah.
Like veil it. That's
ish.
more of a veil. Like it's happening,
like
but we're not
a
describing
flimsy veil.
we're not describing in like explicit detail the violence. Is that's
specifically?
What I'm hearing?
I'm thinking specifically violence and like
okay,
anything, any like verbal abuse.
So,
but I am open to any like ways that we can define that better.
That makes sense.
Physical. Depictions of physical violence?
Yeah.
Because because the violence could happen, we just don't have to describe it.
Yeah, like physical and sexual violence, and like we don't have to say exactly what someone else said, but we can talk about it. And we can also just be very diligent about checking in and using the X card if we need to, I think.
The the sexual violence, is that a line? Or was that in conjunction with something specific?
What do you guys think? It can be a line.
I'd prefer it a line.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I'm gonna line any explicit depictions of animal death or torture.
Since this is set in London, uh, and the time period that it's in, like, what do we want to? Do we want to be able to explore racism in race, or do we want to line that? Can't hear you, Tennille.
Thank you. I prefer that we line it.
Yeah.
That's okay. I feel like we should focus it on, our relationships and
Yeah. I
that
think
sort of
that
Yep.
that
I
is
just wanted to make sure.
fair.
So we said we've lined animal cruelty and abuse, sexual abuse, racism. We're veiling
Depictions of
homophobia and
yeah.
sorry,
You're right. The veiling of
homophobia
that.
and transphobia. And is there anything else that we want to cover?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I think that's good for now, and we definitely want to be able to check in more with this
Yeah,
game.
Yeah, I
this
think
game is going to be heavy.
I think we can totally use some other tools that allow for like the pausing of, hey, let's talk about this, right? Type of thing, you know?
Okay.
Like there's I can't remember the name right off my head, but you can like just kind of pause and have like,
Script
hey, let's
change.
talk
script
about this.
change.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. So anyways, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's fine with me. I'm cool with that.
Sounds good.
See where we're at. Let's get into talking about the settings and then picking those. We haven't done those yet, which is kind of exciting. And so what we'll do is there's 6 of them. We'll read them. And then we will we'll read all of them, and then we'll decide which 4 we're going to use for our game, since we're not playing like we're not playing for a long time. We're only playing for like 4 sessions. So let's pick 4, and then each of us will take that setting, and then if it's a set if we're using the setting that we control, we'll just have someone else play that setting. Does that sound cool?
Sounds great.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And these are the like you also play at the end.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was so confused when I was reading this.
Yeah. So it's a little So obviously you've played Wanderhome and our Haunt. Both of them are very different. They're very different, and our Haunt supplies that we got kind of had everything really structured in a different way. So Grand Guignol in its current form is very similar to kind of a traditional out of the box belonging outside belonging game, in the sense that like the settings look the way that they do.
Yeah, no. Actually, it makes way more sense since I've played Wanderhome and Our Haunt. So like these are like the rooms. Okay.
Yeah. Ideally, each of these would be like cards.
Yep.
If we were in person, and we would go through the cards, and each of us would hold on to it. And then when those settings come up, then typically, like, you're the GM, you're the one who's kind of in control while other people are playing.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I will go first because I have one that I want to play. So I'm going to read The Blood That Flows.
Not surprising.
Well, so we're going to read all 6 and then we'll decide, okay? Just so that in case somebody hasn't really had a chance to look at it. But yes, thank you. I know. All right. Capital is dead labor that vampire-like only lives by sucking living labor, and lives the more the more labor it sucks. Hold on, just wait.
I'll mute myself.
Hold on. This is like an actual quote, okay? So just throwing that. This time during which the laborer works, during which the laborer works is the time during which the capitalist consumes the power he has purchased from him. Karl Marx, Capital, Volume 1. Now, I'm sure you could go and find Karl Marx's volumes on Capital, No, I cannot, Menachem. I cannot say it 5 times fast. But I can encourage you to go buy Karl Marx's books, Capital, all of the volumes, and you could read it 5 times fast. Something terrible lurks in the heart of London, cruel and rich and thirsty. It feeds on misery and drains people dry, preying on the working poor even as it strolls amongst the corridors of power. Which has killed more, the vampire's fangs or the landlord's endless greed? Circle 3 to 5 aesthetics, choose 3 desires. This would get picked up when someone has resources worth taking, interacts with their betters, or wishes their place in society were different. Tips for playing this setting: explore the detached cruelty and boundless thirst of capitalism. Give the predators pretty excuses and bloody hands, and give their victims names and loved ones. Ask compelling questions and build on the answers others give. The moves include: offer power, freedom, or importance for a price. Review a tableau of bloody carnage or ruined lives. Kill or subvert a side character. Put walls of bureaucracy, etiquette, or law in their way. Present a dangerous predator somewhere they thought was safe.
Yeah, I think that's a great one for both the beast and the hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have one that I really like.
Okay.
The salt of the earth. A wonderful fact to reflect upon is that every human creature is constituted to be that profound secret and mystery to every other. When I enter a great city by night, every one of those darkly clustered houses encloses its own secret. Every beating heart and the thousands of chests there is, in some of its imaginings, a secret to the heart nearest in. Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. Even in the midst of social upheaval and occult mysteries, life still goes on. There are 1 million souls crammed into London's busy streets nowadays. Strangers and neighbors and friends, all with lives and troubles and desires and judgments of their own. Pick up when someone travels within London, goes among the citizens, or wishes they could just be normal. Tips: introduce everyday people of all kinds and give them names, worries, desires, and dignity. Explore the messy complexity of both specific people and society. Ask compelling questions and build on the answers others give. Moves: show the consequences and cost of what's been happening. Offer acceptance, but only conditionally. Expose tensions in the city and push them to pick a side. Give them an opportunity to reject, befriend, help, or judge. Have someone do what's right.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Ooh.
Jesse, do you have one that you like?
I do. So this is The Sins of the Past.
I knew it.
That's my second favorite
That
one.
was my first choice, but I thought you might want it, so I'm glad you took it.
Okay. So the quote: "I believe we make ourselves who we are. The blood is on our hands, not God's." From Penny Dreadful, Season 2, Episode 5, Above the Vaulted Sky. Maybe you were born in London. maybe far away, but everyone has a past. Wrongs they've done or suffered, people who've loved or hurt them, lives they changed or ruined. You can run as far as you like, but you can't escape what you've done. So we picked this pick up when someone reveals part of their past, contacts someone they once knew, or wishes they could forget. So the tips, it's introduce family, old friends, rival, enemies, and past victims and give them names and agendas. Explore where the characters came from and make it matter. Ask compelling questions and build on the answers others gives. And then the moves are present a figure from the past, confront them with their misdeeds and mistakes, show the beauty that past goodness has flourished into, pass an ultimatum or a judgment, give them a terrible choice to make.
I love it.
Yeah, sense of the past is good.
So I am a little.
What is the gate choosing?
I'm between the Wicker Ways because I think that could be a really interesting to do, or the Embrace of the Night. But I'm really feeling the Embrace of Night, so we're just gonna go with that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So the Embrace of Night. In this mortal world, you'll always be shunned for your uniqueness, but not with me. They will lock you away in rooms like this. They will brand you a freak and a sorceress, but I won't. I love you for who you are. Penny Dreadful, Season 3, Episode 4, A Blade of Grass. The darkness is generous and kind and comforting. It hides us from those we fear and holds us close when we are lonely and whispers that it's okay to be the monster that they claim us. Because we're special. It's been waiting just for us and it has such plans. Pick up when someone is alone, feels lost, afraid or monstrous, or longs for what they can't or shouldn't have. Tips: explore the seduction of acceptance, purpose, and vengeance. Give the darkness a terrible plan, a brooding charisma, and a vast emotional landscape. Ask compelling questions and build on the answers that others give. And the moves are: tempt someone with a half heard whisper, reveal a distasteful truth that's been hidden or forgotten, manipulate someone's senses, memories, desires, or feelings, possess a side character, make someone feel watched, destined, or damned.
All right. Very good. I'm fine uh if whoever like we choose the aesthetics for the one that we're playing, or we can do it as a collective. I'm okay either way.
Is that something we decide as we play?
Well, so we need to decide them before we start because that's what will drive
Okay.
that's what will just like drive the settings motivations.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played it where we didn't
Do it together. Yeah.
do it together.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
totally fine doing it that way. That's I wanted to ask. So let's just start. We'll start at the
We
top.
could just go in the order that we that we did.
That's fine. So for the three desires for the blood that flows, I really like lives wrung dry, and plausible deniability. And then it just needs one more.
What did you say again? What was the first one?
Lives wrung dry.
Oh, okay.
I like fearful compliance.
Yes, I also do. Okay. And then let's pick 4 aesthetics. Does that sound good?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we each can pick an aesthetic for the blood that flows.
Empty platitudes.
Okay.
Sorry. That's not much of an aesthetic, but you know what I mean.
I think I'm gonna go with venomous gossip.
What did Hallie pick?
Empty platitudes.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with opulence.
Okay.
Violence. Let's go with relics of the past.
Old money. And like
Yeah.
a lot of like intermarriage and keeping money in the family and gossiping about people. So is it Tennille next?
Yes. So
Okay.
the desires. Um. I really like conformity to keep things as they are. And respectability. And now for aesthetics.
You said conformity, and what's the other one? Respectability?
Respectability, yes. Okay. They're also good. I'm going to go with corner musicians.
Corner musician. I'm gonna go with Penny Dreadfuls.
Thinking loud crowds.
I'm going to go with judgmental stares.
Nice. I was looking at that one. I like that one. Okay, great. And now sins of the past.
Okay, so sins of the past. For desires, I was thinking secrets kept and misery.
Like
Okay.
they're right next to each other. I can highlight both.
And then for the aesthetics, keepsakes.
Keepsake.
Ah, these are so good.
They actually do have blood money in this list. I like flashbacks.
Okay.
Seems like whenever we've played like a belonging outside of belonging game, we almost always end up doing some kind of flashback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A good place to start. Okay, so keepsakes, flashbacks. I'm gonna go with Suspicious watchers.
Mm.
I think I want fervent prayers. I was gonna go with something else, but I kind of feel like this might add a. I don't know. Seems like this area is very vulnerable and scary and unsafe, but there's a couple people praying.
Fervent prayers, you said?
Yeah, if that
Okay.
makes sense. It was
Yeah.
between that and like crushing guilt. So and I just figured let's make someone sound hopeful.
I mean, yeah.
So embrace of the night, the embrace of night. To overthrow normalcy and uncomfortable intimacy. Are my two? Oh, three desires for this one. Uncomfortable intimacy, to overthrow normalcy, and bloodshed. Let's make it. Yeah. And then for aesthetics, ooh.
I'd like to go with golden eyes.
Okay. So do you want your golden eyes to be like unique, or do you want to have more golden eyes around?
I mean, who's to say there's not more beasts around?
Okay.
That's
I just
the
wanted to see
implication.
if you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are. Ooh.
I like unholy fury.
I do too.
That's good.
This is my favorite list so far. Man, it's creepy. For those at home, there's forked tongue, taloned hands, raven feathers, writhing shadows. Ooh, I love a good thunderstorm. Let's put in some low thunder.
Okay.
We need one more.
Let's go with cracked stained glass.
I like it. Very good.
Yes.
Did we do everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sick. Tennille, can you read me the aesthetics for the Salt of the Earth again?
Yes. Corner musicians.
Okay.
Penny dreadfuls. Loud crowds. Judgmental stares.
All right, great. Cool. Okay. I think we're going to take a break. Because we've finished all the setup, and we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll take like a 10-minute break, 10-minute break, 10-minute break. Come back, and we'll do some scenes. I think that sounds fun.
Good.
All right.
So excited.
All right. See you later.
We will be back. Hey, hello. Welcome back, everyone. We're back from our break, and I think we're ready to do some scenes. I don't know. Do we have some ideas? I think it sounded like there might be some ideas for some scenes. I think there might even be some ideas for maybe a flashback or two.
I feel like I'd like to meet our characters, like see them in action before a flashback. Unless like someone has a really interesting one.
Yeah, we can do so I guess the question is, does anybody have an idea for a scene
I have
for their
one.
character? Or wanting to set up as a setting for other characters? Thoughts? Go ahead, Tennille.
Well, I'm not sure what setting really fits. A part of me wonders if if we could just if we would just start and then see like what setting I guess comes up as we play.
That's a good idea. We could do that. That's certainly an option.
And so my idea is that the scene, I mean, in my head, it's specifically for Kavi and Ezra,
Okay.
with Kavi basically leading Ezra towards a certain type of experiment and
An
hopes
experiment.
and hopes to support
Okay.
them
Okay.
and managing their beastly,
Okay.
urges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it's about.
Okay.
It's not just like you're my guinea pig or anything like that.
Fair.
Of course not.
Okay.
And I mean if Persephone would like to be in the scene somehow, I'd be open to that. If Baco wants to be in the scene somehow, I'd be open to that as well.
So for doing,
So I mean, I could see Embrace the Night coming up at some point, possibly. Sins of
yeah.
the Past might come up. That might happen. Salt of the Earth might come up. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't think Salt of the Earth will happen as much. I mean, and we could also have the Blood That Flows one that might come up too.
Surprised we
Yeah.
didn't pick Spectre of Modernity, because that would probably work super well with this.
I mean, we could also pick it. I mean, we can also use it if we want. If we think that there's place for other settings, we can definitely pick play that setting if it's not one that we've chosen, and just fill it out quickly. That's an
Mhm.
option. Oh, because like anatomical. What are you thinking in terms of this experiment?
So Kavi plans to, of course, give you some information about
Okay.
their thoughts on the soul and um,
Okay.
how that kind of manifests. But it would involve lights
Okay.
in a room, and you would be kind of like hooked up to certain things,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Yep. Okay. So what if we did for Spectre of Modernity? What if we did electric lights, anatomical charts, um,
Oh,
scalpels,
oh,
pharmacies, uh, and to fit in with our one. Uh, oh, we do lecture theaters. Do get rid of pharmacies. We'll do electric lights, anatomical charts, lecture theater, scalpels, and looming smokestacks. Pull in some industrial stuff. 3
okay.
desires. What do we think about rational explanations?
Yes.
Categorization
I like it.
and either calm debate or to remake the world.
I like to remake the world better.
Okay, there we go. Look, I think that's
Ta-da!
that's a more fitting setting possibly if we're gonna engage more of Kavi's scholarly
Awesome.
features. Okay. How are we opening the scene? How's it opening?
Well, we should probably decide first who's going to play the setting and
Yeah.
if the other player would like to join in the scene in some way.
I think that's a good idea.
I would be okay with playing the setting.
Okay.
Read it over a little bit more though.
Yeah, we can read do you want to read the little
Sure.
flavor
Like
text? The italicized stuff for the world?
do you want the quote too?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
the best part.
It is good. Yeah, I just wanted to check. Always nervous. So the specter of modern the specter of
Modernity.
modernity. Modern times. Did you okay. Did you really imagine that your modern creation would hold to the values of Keats and Wordsworth? We are men of iron and mechanization now. We are steam engines and turbines. Were you really so naive to imagine that we'd see eternity in a daffodil? Penny Dreadful Season 1, Episode 3, Resurrection. There has been a spirit haunting the streets of London in recent days, wiser than an angel and mightier than any apparition. It has gripped the city with a fever that never sleeps. The modern age is here at last, and the world will never be the same.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to read the other stuff?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's
Yeah,
get
let's
into it.
just. This is perfect because
Again?
it says pick up when someone engages with industry or science, looks for answers, or imagines how the future might be. Yeah, this is the this is
This is
yeah.
the
This
playbook.
is the perfect one.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah. So
it really is.
all right,
So
Does Baco want to be in the scene?
Yeah, I think, yes, I think they would come as a guard to make sure you're safe while doing the experiment.
that Kavi's safe or
Both.
That Ezra's
okay.
safe.
That
All right.
Ezra and Kavi are safe.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm down for that. I don't necessarily think that the beast and the hunter have to be diametrically opposed, so I like that. I'm glad that we've set that up. Good. I'm glad we're friends.
are you?
Well,
you?
if Baco is there to try to protect, that
Yeah.
there's some kind of friendship.
The implication
Or-
is there. Yeah.
Yeah, the implication
Okay.
is there. That's for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Well, take it. All right.
Yeah, so Kavi would have sent a invitation on lovely what do you call it, parchment, an elaborate script to meet so that we can do a session. That's what Kavi likes to call them. It's just a session.
Okay.
And they will invite both of you into the townhouse, down a hallway, and then downstairs where Kavi has a lab set up.
All right.
And yeah, and in the lab there's a lot of things that you may not have seen. There's a lot of glass objects of different shapes, and there are these glowing lights that are kind of like all around, and in the center is of like basically a black metal chair, and Kavi gestures for Ezra to take a seat in that, and then Kavi, picks up one of their glittery pens, and begins to like write a little bit on a like a sketch pad, and looks at both of you. Thank you both so much for coming. I'm very eager to see what will happen in store.
Okay.
So as you know, I'm searching to learn for the true nature of the soul. And there are still many questions that I have yet to find a complete answer to. Is the soul emotional, intellectual? Is it intense energy? Is it our true nature? Can it disappear when we die? Where does it go if we die? So many questions, so many ways to explore these things. So I heard of another scientist, a colleague of mine actually, that has done this session before. Some might say experiment. And I thought this would be a good time to try it out. So the way that it works is that there's a theory that there's, in many ways, our soul is like a light. And when there is evil, in this world, or the soul is tarnished, tainted in some way, that light gets smaller and smaller. And they say that those that are out in the world extinguishing the lives of others, those are ones that have very, very small souls, very closed in. And so the experiment works in that, based off that theory, and that someone's light is less, imagine, if you will, a room. And there's light in this room, it's filled completely. But then horrible things happen, dark things happen, and the light gets smaller and then smaller. And slowly and slowly, the light gets so dim that it's very difficult to see anything at all. And all there is darkness. So I am not sure of where your soul is, but I'm going to connect some things to you, and little by little, we will brighten up the room and then slowly diminish all of the light. And with your own inner abilities, you will do your best to try to light the room back up. And that will give us a sense of the measurement of your soul. Does that make sense? Have I hope I've explained this well enough.
I guess maybe it makes sense. I guess. Are you saying that I will be that you'll be able to tell like, am I supposed to have a small soul? I'm not really sure. I'm kind of confused. I don't really understand what you're saying.
We're not sure what it'll be like until we start.
Okay. Okay. Well,
it shouldn't be painful.
It would. Well, I'm used to pain, so pain is not an issue. Okay. Well, I guess we can certainly try it. I mean, I came to you looking for answers, so this is how you think we get those answers. Okay.
That is right.
So does that mean I can get a token?
You can get a token.
Because we're starting a scene like entrenched in your lure, pretty much.
Yes, entrenched in my lure.
Great. I love it. Perfect. Thank God.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Baco,
well,
is what is there? Do you understand? Do you have any questions?
Do I need to understand? I'm just here to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Not really.
I guess that, yeah, okay, that works. Do I just sit in the chair?
Yes. Take a seat.
All right, okay. All right. I'll sit down. I'm gonna sit down and yeah, okay.
Now, I'm going to strap you in, but I'm not going to do it incredibly tightly. You will be free to have some movement, but I don't wish for you to leave the chair if you can help it.
Okay.
And so Cavi will put this strap.
What if I can't help it? Sometimes I can't control. Guess we'll find out.
Well, maybe that's why Baco's here.
I thought Baco was here to protect both of us.
Yes, and it might be protective if you don't leave in the middle of the experiment.
Fair point. Okay. Maybe you should just tighten them a little bit more.
Oh, okay. And so Kavi will tighten straps around Ezra's arms and legs, and then there's going to be like a strap thing that goes down on their head. And there's like these wires that are like connected to all of these different lights that are set up
Weird.
all around the room. And Kavi says, I'm glad to hear that you're not concerned about pain, because there might be a little tingling, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
pain is how I know that I still exist.
That is good.
I
It's true.
am. I want to take an inhibited move and ask what makes me vulnerable in this situation.
So are you asking me?
So well, I think it just says ask what
Okay.
makes you vulnerable in this situation. I always sometimes as a player I get confused about who that's asking. But it is like like there's each of us kind of have 3 ask options in each of our move categories. And one of my inhibited ones is what makes me vulnerable in this situation, which this situation in a sense is vulnerable. Like I'm letting Kavi kind of have all this control. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do, Minako. We are gonna. So, Kavi, what would make me vulnerable in this particular situation?
You are vulnerable because you are basically offering up your life in my hands. And
My life? You didn't say anything about dying.
Oh, well, I mean, most likely won't die. Like, I mean,
most likely.
There's a 80% chance that you won't die.
Very well.
But I mean, there's always a 20% chance, but it's pretty small.
And you're certain that you can get answers from this?
I am not certain. I just know that it is the highest likability that I can get more answers from doing this session.
Okay.
So before, like, as you guys are talking, when there's a pause in your conversation, that thing that she put on your head, or they put on your head, you can hear the electrical buzzing through it, and the lights flicker a little bit. You feel very confident.
This seems perfectly normal.
Yes, see, Bako has full confidence in me.
Okay. Well,
I've been doing this for years. I mean, not the session itself, but I've been working on this project for years.
Okay, all right. Well,
it's taken me some time, but
let's just get it over with. And if I die, well, I guess
we will resuscitate you.
All right. I don't know if I deserve that, but I mean, I've made a mess of my life, so we'll see.
Well, we could also use your organs for science.
Great. That's also an option. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe.
So you're gonna definitely get something out of this.
Perfect. Well, I don't know. I mean, is the soul attached to like the organs? Like this could be contagious, this thing inside of me. So I don't know if you want to share organs with people, but let's just do this. Let's get this over with. This is very uncomfortable.
Okay.
I need to go drink. I'd like to get this over with.
Okay. Why don't you count to 10 in your head?
Okay. All right. Am I supposed to close my eyes? You need them open?
It doesn't really matter either way.
Are the eyes not the window to the soul?
That's not really a thing. That's just things people say. It's
yeah. All right, very well. I'm gonna start counting then.
All right then. Kavi goes over to like this mechanical device that has multiple things like all connected, and there are a number of different levers, and she kind of looks at Ezra. They kind of look at Ezra for a little bit, and then moves a lever down, and the room gets brighter, and she moves the second lever down, and the room gets brighter still, and then the third lever, and now the room is so bright it's like glaring, and it actually is very helpful to close the eyes because of how glaring the light is. And then as she moves the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh lever, the light begins to dim and dim and dim until we're in total darkness. And this is where I think the setting will come in on kind of what happens.
I feel like I'm going to say, just for visual, I think Ezra's eyes are like glowing at this point. If it's like really dark, I think Ezra's eyes are glowing. Like a
so
golden...
all we see are your glowing eyes in the dark.
Yep. Yeah.
So the intention here is you want to see if the soul can light up the room. Is that correct? Okay. So Ezra,
it'll give us like a measurement of like how her soul is, if she is a beast, has like a smaller light, or if it's a bigger, or if it's the same as like an average person,
okay,
etc.
So first, nothing happens, and there's a little bit of an uncomfortable silence. Now that the lights have been turned off, the humming has receded, and Ezra feels like a tickling at the back of their head. Like it's kind of like when you have something on the tip of your tongue, or a memory you just forgot. And you can fuss with it if you want, or you could just leave it as is. But right now, like, you have the best vision in this room. You can see Kavi and Baco, and Kavi might be a little nervous. Like, is this gonna work? But
Kavi is excited.
Okay. And so, what does Ezra do?
What does Ezra do? So, obviously, maybe I'm gonna try to initially, when I feel the tingle, I'm going to attempt to like scratch, like get it, but obviously I can't. I'm gonna say, oh, how am I supposed to feel? Like, what's supposed to be happening? Is anything happening? I can't really tell. But you look mighty excited over there.
Yes, I am very excited. I want you to think of your soul. Think of the essence of who you are and try to bring that out.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. So Ezra's gonna kind of like close their eyes. And as they open them again, I'm gonna take a transgressive move. And I'm going to shape shift physically. And as Ezra opens their eyes, if they could get golder, they have pretty much gotten golder, and they've kind of like busted out of the straps, so they've gotten like much bigger. I'm not gonna say they're not like a werewolf-y type, like a fully werewolf, more like kind of
buff.
Yeah, or like Jekyll, like
Hulk.
like more like Jekyll, like Jekyll and Hyde, right? Like
yeah,
like more Mr. Hyde, and They have like fangs. Um, and they've kind of like busted out of this thing, and uh you hear kind of Ezra say, I don't in like a much deeper voice, uh I don't think this is going to work. If you think you can measure my worth with this measly experiment, you're fooling yourselves. And then I'm going to take an inhibited move, and I'm going to lose myself in violence, intoxication, or sex. And obviously, in this situation, it's violence. And
Obviously.
I'm going to start throwing things around.
Okay, so you guys see Ezra transform like right in well, you don't. You hear. You hear
Oh yeah,
Ezra
because it's super
transform.
dark. Yeah, I
And what
like
you
it.
hear is Ezra's announcement like if you think that you can measure a soul this way or measure my worth or um and you can hear like stretching of leather straps and then they snap and you can hear the cap on their head stretching and then kind of break and the chair that they're uh, on creaks and one of the legs breaks a little bit as they get bigger and bigger and just as Ezra starts to lose themselves in violence all of the lights turn completely on and burst one like all at once and glass goes flying and for a brief second you saw Ezra's beastly form.
So,
And you know Ezra is about to lose it.
okay. So, in that moment, seeing that like beastly form. So, one of my inhibited moves is to mistake a stranger for those who
Oh, I
hurt
like
you.
it.
And one of my three monsters is some creature in the
Yep.
shadows. So,
Yeah.
seeing Ezra's form in that moment, I mistake
Good.
them for those that have hurt me. And so, um, gonna lash out with violence, with brutal
Okay.
violence.
All right.
What does Kavi do? Oh, sorry.
So you're taking the inhibited move to lash out suddenly with your words or fists.
Yes.
Okay. And also mistaking a stranger for those you hurt you.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2 tokens. What's Kavi doing?
Kavi is going to ask the question, what have I overlooked or misunderstood? But I'm guessing neither of you are going to answer that question.
Not right now.
Nope.
No, I won't be able to give you that answer. But maybe one of the one of the specters of modernity's moves could potentially answer that.
So
that gives me wait. No, never mind.
I mean, I'm kind of going for the reveal the human cost of scientific research or
Yeah, I
industry.
actually really like the moves of this setting.
Yeah. And so
we played right into it.
Yep.
Yep. So stuff is going down. It's very dark. Kavi, I don't think you can see. So you're just gonna hear what's happening. Who does what first?
What would be the human cost of the scientific research or industry? Would that be an answer or a realization, or do you want us to play out the scene a little bit more to get that answer?
So with this, like, do I then just kind of reveal it? Do I narrate it or?
It could be a variety of things. So I have an idea that could maybe help flesh out that move a little bit more.
Okay.
For what I was going to do since Blacko is now lashing out back.
Okay.
I was going to take a transgressive move and um, or no, sorry, I'm going to take an inhibited move and win a brawl and limp away, beaten and bloody. So that's one more token for me. um, and so this is what I was thinking. Let me know. But since Baco has then lashed out at Ezra, I think mistaking them. I think in this current form, where in Ezra's beast form, Ezra absolutely lashes back out, and a knock him down fight happens, uh, but not without. I don't know. We can play that out. I mean, I don't know how Baco fights, but think like Mr. Hyde. So that's kind of what the beast kind of looks like. So I mean, like throw it like Ezra's throwing stuff at Baco, like um fists and items. So like Kavi's like some of Kavi's like scientific tools are like being thrown at Baco, which Kavi won't see until the lights they have a better visual. I would be okay saying that like as like Baco maybe I don't does Baco have weapons?
Hmm. I
I'm
think
okay if
Baco.
like Ezra gets like stabbed or something in terms of like this is like Ezra in beast form has like no ability to like stop. So if Baco has engaged Ezra, it's gonna take like you've like I've also gotten the shit beat out of me to kind of realize that. But I did win. I'm gonna point that out. I win the brawl.
Very
Um,
important.
so we fight, and then how Ezra would end Ezra's gonna will leave, will escape. So I don't know if you want to fill in for Baco, Jesse.
Yeah, so I think Baco prefers fist for fights,
Okay,
but
so we're fist fighting. I love it.
yeah,
No, that's good.
but they definitely have like weapons that are more like things that are hidden, like brass knuckles or things like
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
that
All right.
are more, yeah, for maximum hurting.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Let's say fisticuffs.
I was just
Let's
about to say fisticuffs.
let's
Maximum pain.
let's say that Baco kind of catches Ezra with the fisticuffs or the brass knuckles kind of like in the like jaw kind of cheek area, and maybe breaks one or two minor bones in there, um and as Ezra kind of like comes back up from that, you hear like this like bestial like cry, and then the next thing you know they've like jumped out whatever window is available, if there's an open window, or they've busted down the door to get out, and they will leave. They have left into the night.
Yeah, I think there wouldn't be any windows because it's a
Yeah,
basement
it's a
lab.
basement. Yeah, so
Yeah, but there is a door that they
okay.
can
Yeah,
get
so
through.
then they completely bust the door down, and as they go through the rest of the house, they've like trashed your hallways and your foyer and everything, and they've made it to the street, and you're like distant screaming because people are freaked the fuck out now at this point that this creature is running down the alley, and they disappear.
Mhm.
So
So,
Javi is going to make their way to a wall and try to find a light switch.
Yeah,
And by the time Kavi finds a light switch, Ezra's already gone.
absolutely. Yep.
And the lab is like totally destroyed. Uh,
I think,
how does Baco look?
yeah, Baco hurt, a little bloodied, and but definitely still able to fight more, still confused of what's going on, and is going to ask which of my monsters is working against me, and is feeling very distrustful in this situation since it was supposed to be a simple experiment to see the soul.
Right.
And I think they're gonna go chase Ezra.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I think the answer to that question is maybe, and maybe it's not necessarily true, but I think the assumed answer is that it's the creature from the shadows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So does Baco say anything to Kavi, or just gonna leave, not say a word?
Like maybe whispers that question under breath out loud and then just books it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
There's and then Kavi says to the empty room, "There's something to be learned here. I wish I had seen something and known what was happening, but no one's spoken to me at all. Perhaps I can talk to them at another time." And then Kavi is gonna go ahead and write furiously with one of their pens, just every single detail that they can get, which is not very much because it was totally dark.
Yeah, and I think
They didn't see the fight. They didn't know any. They don't even know that their hall is wrecked.
Yeah.
It's completely in the dark, but sees the busted out light bulbs and starts hypothesizing on maybe different watts. And I think we can end that scene there, unless you guys wanted to do a scene of your own.
No, I think that I was just gonna say, I think that like the response to that move, I think that answers the review of the human cost of scientific research or industry. And I don't necessarily know if Kavi has completely grasped it, but there was clearly a human cost. So
yeah.
Well, I mean,
So-
I'm guessing there's some blood.
yeah,
Like
I mean,
there's
well,
like some evidence of
and
or
you know,
fur
that-
or hair, or I mean,
yeah.
So
Kavi's very good. Like she's like almost a detective, so she would see like little bits of body hair and stuff.
I
Yeah.
think Kavi, there is a actual physical cost of what just happened, because
Yeah, of
there's
course.
a lot of destroyed equipment, and you'll soon discover that there's a lot of destroyed house. But Kavi definitely missed something regarding, individuals and humans
yeah.
and kind of their reactions. Kavi thought that they had controlled the whole situation, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean they really didn't. I mean, they wanted to give the perception that they were in total control, but they were like, "This could go really bad, but I still want to see what happens."
Right.
I'm wondering if Kavi will learn anything from it.
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah.
However, Ezra has, I don't know. So Ezra in beast form is going to, and we can do a second shorter scene if you'd like. But Ezra's planning on going to Persephone's.
Okay. Do we want to go there?
It's up to you. We can set a scene there and have a short scene if you'd like, so that Persephone can get some screen time.
Sounds like a natural follow up, and the hunter could follow.
Yeah.
To Persephone's, maybe. We'll see. I think that's the Embrace of the Night, but that is mine, so I don't know if someone else would be willing to. Or the Blood That Flows.
Yes, Tennille. Tennille wants to run one of the settings.
Yeah, I could do it.
I mean, there is also Sins of the Past. It kind of depends on what your character is looking for. Because Embrace of Night is someone is alone, feels lost, afraid, or monstrous, or longs for what they can't or shouldn't have. And since the past, someone reveals part of their past, contacts someone they once knew, or wishes they could forget.
Oh.
They both sound like good
So it kind of depends on which way you want to. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think embrace the night or blood that flows seems
Uh,
like good potentials.
I mean, we could do embrace of the night. That could be fun.
Just have to think like, what does Persephone's house look?
I mean,
I
yeah.
don't think she.
Where's Persephone? Because that's where Ezra's going.
Okay, so I think that since Persephone, let's go. We'll say that Persephone lives in one of those. Maybe not in like such a great place. Did we have dens of iniquity or vices?
Den of vices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she's like she needed a place to go, and so she's like kind of a chambermaid or helps. She works for room and board there, but
Okay.
not for sex. But they're trying to recruit.
Yeah.
So she probably has a very small room off of the kitchen or
Mm-hmm.
bar, and you know gets as much sleep as is possible, but is often just cleaning up after a lot of other people.
Okay.
We could
So
give it a
where?
name.
So where would Ezra like find Persephone? Like in this small room, or
Yeah, she'd either be working in the back taking care of stuff, or she'd be in her
okay.
room. It might make sense just to have her in her room.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So no, that works. Ezra's gonna kind of stumble in, and like at this point, Ezra has like run the beast off and is in like just normal human form. Um, and but like has like a their whole cheek is like pretty fucked up. So it's like already bruising and everything. Ezra's going to stumble into the room.
uh, so Persephone looks up and she was just like brushing her hair and like she still holds on to a lot of her old trappings,
Yeah.
but it's all getting very old, and so she's
Okay.
trying to hold up
Mm.
appearances. But she's like, Ezra, like what what's going on?
I I was I was I Kavi was helping. Well, I I don't know if I was helping Kavi or if Kavi was helping me. I don't know. Something happened, I and then I can't really remember. And then this like and then just I remember violence and throwing stuff, and I think Baco punched me, and I'm here now.
Okay.
Also, you look
Um
very pretty tonight.
oh, okay, thanks. Let me get like very let me go get some stuff.
Okay.
Like have a
Okay.
seat. Do you want
Okay.
anything to eat?
I mean, food sounds good. I don't really know what to do. I just feel like I like sat in the chair and then things just escalated.
That's
Uh,
that sounds pretty scary.
it was kind of scary. It was
Okay.
As you
Um,
guys are talking, you hear the sound of low thunder in the distance.
well, you got in just in time.
I guess so.
Okay.
Rain starts to pelt
Um,
the roof.
I'm gonna take a token for admitting you're out of your depth and asking for help. Okay.
So I gather like some stuff to like help like tend to your wounds and get a couple extra clothes just in case like you uh damaged your clothing and
Oh yeah, I would assume that I'm probably yeah, my clothing is probably very tattered. I completely yep. Yeah.
Persephone is very flustered. She's blushing and just doesn't. She has come a long way from her
Yeah.
upper class lifestyle, but is still very flustered. And I'm just
There are bits of cracked glass in her skin and blood dripping from her limbs.
you are a mess. Like, do you want me to help?
I mean, yeah, like you won't
Or do you
see.
want some privacy? Or
I mean, Ezra has like no, I don't think Ezra's like boundaries are very, I mean, they literally drink themselves. I think it's fine. Ezra's just kind of like still really like out of it and not completely clear. They know where they are and everything, but she's very much like not capable of fully doing it themselves. She is going to ask under her breath, like she's going to kind of ask, like, do you think I'm a monster? Do you think I like did this to myself?
no, you're not a monster.
Are you sure? Like, I think I really hurt Baco.
Rocco's tough. Like, and you probably deserved that pun. Like, whatever happened to your face, I imagine.
I,
Like,
you know,
I'm sure we'll be able to find out how Baco's doing soon. But no, you're not a monster. Like, you didn't do this to yourself. It sounds like whatever this experiment was went a little bit far for you.
okay.
And she's gonna help. Like,
Go ahead and take a token.
I got my first
That's my
token.
lure.
Good job. And
What are you doing exactly? What's
I'm like,
Persephone doing?
so she's like taking a damp clean rag and helping like clean up the blood, and like there's glass everywhere. I don't like what.
And
I think
and while you're doing this, you can smell Ezra's sweat. And it's a very pungent smell that's it's hard to describe. Is it alluring? Is it it's something. Makes you want to
Something.
yes, it just flares into your nostrils and kind of creates a flush over your body.
So she's just gonna ignore.
we've just
She
taken
feels
the teenage nightmare
yeah.
move, turn someone on by breaking a sweat. That's
So
I
she's
did
just
not mean to do that, but yeah, I just did that.
yeah. So her cheeks get real flushed. She feels incredibly warm, and she's just like doesn't. She's very
Yeah.
young, and we will. Hmm.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. You're clearly not okay. So, like just like let's get all this glass out, and then maybe like we can maybe we can draw you a bath or something, and patch you back up. Like if this is how you look, I can't imagine how Bako looks. And she's just trying to play it all off, and but she is going to. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna. Sorry. She's gonna say, it seems like you felt like you weren't like you lost control really quickly.
Uh, I was just gonna, I was just gonna look down at themselves and kind of say, yeah. I like sat down, and next thing I know, the lights went off, and my head got fuzzy, and I remember throwing shit around. That's about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna do an inhibited move. Confess a perceived failing, untold secret, or past sin. I'm gonna say a lot of times my curse or gift is very similar, and sometimes I affect the people around me, and I don't even know how it happened or what happened to make it. And I've hurt people, just not in the same way. That's part of why I hide up here or down here. Yeah.
And I think this is about when Baco tracking like bursts in through the door and is like, "What's going on? What has happened? Are you safe?"
Oh my god.
So Persephone looks up and is like beet red, and she's just like, it's clearly an intimate moment, but she's also maybe slightly relieved.
Oh god.
She just does not know what to do. Oh, it's you. How are I heard you guys had a little fight.
What was that? What just happened? I demand an explanation.
Okay. So how am I gonna go? Okay, so Ezra first is going to address Persephone and kind of say like, so as Ezra is making is so I'm going to take a transgressive move and I'm going to make a promise I'd rather die than break. And we'll say that as I'm making this promise, Baco storms in. So Ezra says something like, I will. How do I want to word it? Anyways, so I'm gonna say something like, and like Ezra will have like reached for like whatever hand you were like cleaning stuff up, and like put their hand on top of it to like stop it, and is going to say, I would rather die than you ever feel like you are a failure. Um, you are the nicest person I've ever met. That's what they're gonna say. And as that happens, Baco storms in. I think that question was to me, right, Baco?
Yes.
I think Ezra is going
Well,
to.
in response, like as you're saying
Yes.
this, like her eyes are gonna get really big and they're gonna like water a little bit,
Yeah.
and then Baco bursts in. And
Yes.
and like so it might look like she's crying.
Yeah.
Her face is all red. She's been like, but she's got some feelings right now. I think.
A lot happening.
So you said that you would rather die than
Then like
hurt.
then you feel like a failure, and basically that like you're perfect.
You're super nice and
Yeah,
aw,
you're perfect.
thanks.
I don't know, that
She's.
might fit your lure. I'm not sure.
I was gonna say like
Uh
that. I feel like that's almost like putting their trust in your gift.
yeah.
Maybe even the second part, promise to stay with you, but like that wasn't quite what you said. It seemed like you trusted her. So
Okay.
yeah, take a token.
Okay.
And it would be really easy to assume that Ezra did something mean to Persephone if
Right.
she's like,
Yeah.
So my next question is, who here is hurting or under threat? And that's one of my transgressive moves.
No one. I mean,
trying to protect Persephone because all I see is tears and I don't know what's going on.
Right, yeah. Ezra's gonna kind of look and maybe probably stands up and still is not wearing normal clothes yet. So I think regardless of like Baco being confused, Baco would very clearly know that the beast that you just fought is probably Ezra, given the clothes and the fact that they have a busted up like cheekbone. Ezra's gonna kind of stand up and be like, nothing. Like, she's just helping me clean up. Like, you see this? You messed up my cheek. I don't know why. I mean, I probably lost control more than likely from the looks of my clothes. Um, so, but nothing happened. It's fine. I'm gonna kind of deflect the question. I don't know if that's deflecting.
Mm.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Persephone's gonna understand what's happening and stands up. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And I'm gonna use a transgressive move. Seize all attention in a room by
Ooh.
word or deed. And say, everything's fine. And she's gonna kind of like wave to like have you both sit to like calm your nerves and like help you relax. And she doesn't even realize she did it until afterwards, but you'll feel like a little bit more at ease, like there's no threat here.
And just as you do that,
Uh-oh.
the sound of thunder comes, like it's even closer, like it's louder, and rain starts pouring more heavily down outside, and you hear whispers behind you, just behind Persephone. Be afraid.
She like looks around and she gets like goosebumps and so so do you need anything, Baco? Like while I'm patching
Bako
people up.
Bako starts to feel tension in their back and their shoulders. Just being near Ezra and getting this information, and there's a threatening feeling that washes over Bako.
Like right after I soothe their nerves.
Yes, and the thunder
Oh boy.
like cracked.
Well, so I think Persephone should get a token for offering healing or solace, because that's
cool.
my lure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay. So feeling that tension, I think Bako is going to, they're going to let go of the like anger and hurt that they're currently feeling, because they're so confused of just like what's going on. And their purpose tonight was just to protect, but one of the people they were supposed to protect was one of the ones that kind of led to this fight and all of the memories of the past and this creature that is lurking in the shadows, and still wanting to lash out with the calm from Persephone. Baco is going to let it go and is going to choose to let all of those feelings sit and not lash out.
Mm.
And
sorry.
oh, and I was just gonna ask, what ask to Ezra, how can I show that I love you as you are?
Oh. That's a really good question. That's a really good transgressive move. Ezra's going to say, just, I mean, just know that like I can't control when that happens, and that's why I was at Kavi's to begin with, was to stop it from happening and be more in control. But that doesn't mean that I'm the monster you're chasing.